Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in this video, I wanted to focus in on this quote in this article from the National Interest. I will leave it in the description down below. While churn was steady, the competitive dynamics within the industry resulted in wireless retail postpaid phone net losses of 292,000 due to a decline in gross additions of 2% from the prior year, the company said in its earnings release. So I wanted to put that out, let that kind of sink in with you guys. They lost 292,000 customers. Now, they were able to offset that with some other gains, and, they officially only reported losing about 36,000. But they had a drop in 2% from the prior year. Last year, they reported an actual loss of about 172,000 in the same quarter. Now, it spiked at 292,000 due to competitive dynamics is how they worded it, which is it's a very general term. All they're really saying is it's getting goddamn competitive in the industry is what they're saying. And they're not competing. Somebody asked me yesterday, how is T-Mobile doing this? What's the magic? And I said, they're simply just competing. They're not doing anything special. Their network is not at scale yet compared to the competition, right? In terms of getting coverage into all these other areas where they don't have any coverage, they're just competing. Verizon's not competing. They have to compete. So a lot of people say, and this is how the saying goes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, in this case, I hope Verizon figures out something. And I think, and I said this before in a previous video, but I think it's going to have to come from pricing. They're going to have to drop the price. I don't think the brand is as strong anymore. I know the perception is still there that they have the best network, but there's just too much out there that you can get for cheaper on the same network, right? All the wholesale agreements that they have. Yeah, there are some priority differences. There may not be a truly unlimited. You may receive a slowdown after the 20 gigs, but some people just don't mind it. They'd rather have the savings. And then, you got T-Mobile jabbing them on the right. You got AT&T coming at the left. AT&T is much closer to in terms of the coverage conversation than T-Mobile. So now everybody's competing except Verizon. I just don't feel that competitive edge just yet. If they included taxes and fees, if they dropped pricing by $5, they would compete much better. Trust me. They would start bringing in customers in the door. The value hasn't done it. 292,000 people left. So the value clearly hasn't done it. They're not bringing enough people in. So what's next? What I would do is I would get rid of one of the two perks, one or two, and I would lower pricing by $5 or $10. I think that's going to have a much bigger effect versus anything else that you do in the future from here on out. If you add another perk, not going to do nothing. Play Plus is not going to bring you a ton of customers. Not going to happen. Nope. Ain't going to happen. It might reduce your churn a couple points, but that's about it. So I think Verizon has a bigger problem on their hands than they're willing to say. They generalize it in a competitive, dynamic environment, and that's it. That's how they're labeling it. And we'll see what happens in the near future, but we need to see a change. And if there's a market correction that's being required by the board, they're going to have to put it in effect in this quarter because this quarter is getting real competitive. T-Mobile says their churn is lowering on the Sprint side, and it lowered 17 basis points. If they get it any lower than that, they're going to be a problem. They're going to have 900,000 net adds if they can get it that low. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.